the Fade 5 podcast with Brad Evans and Nate Lundy.
Place your bets at Jack Wagons. By the big noise, Evans here, joined by the good son, Nathaniel Lundy. 'Tis indeed another hashtag Tequila Tuesday edition of the Fade 5. Mas Tequila! We're not driving, of course, because we're hopping aboard the Hong Kong plus bus. All plus money all the time. Got to be at least plus 100 odds or greater. Whether you're looking at college basketball, a scintillating slate on this Tuesday. Maybe the NBA, maybe you're dropping the puck and making some bucks. Maybe you're looking ahead way down the road to the college football playoff championship game between Indiana and Miami. Maybe you're looking ahead to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, which Lundy will be at one of those games as a die-hard Denver Broncos fan. All I ask for you, good sir, is serve me up some juice. So what do you got?
Let's have some fun. Let's go to the ice. 10 games in the NHL tonight, as is typical as we get to Tuesdays and Thursdays. They like to pack up those 2 days. Couple of games on TNT tonight. This game is not one of them, but features a couple of hot teams. Tampa, 10 in a row. Tampa has won, but Brad, not so fast, because Tampa had to watch, unfortunately, Braden Point get a what did not look good as a leg injury, lower body, as the NHL likes to refer to it as. They have not come out with exact news as of tape time here, but it sure looks to me, based on the fact that his teammates had to help him off the ice, I think this is something that he's going to miss a little bit of time. And Tampa's good even without him. And they've won 10 in a row. And you guys are like, Lundy, I mean, Pittsburgh's lost 2 in a row. Yeah, but they also have won 7 out of their last 10. And so I'll tell you what, I will take the plus odds with Pittsburgh at home. I think this is a good Penguins team. I think Tampa, like I said, Tampa is good even without Braden Point, but losing him is a big deal. And this is going to be that first game. You got to go on the road to be able to do it. I think we're going to see a lower scoring affair. Like if you want to play the under, I would do that. The over under at 6.5. I think this is likely going to be a 4 or 5 goal game in total. I think it's going to come down to the goaltending, but I do think Pittsburgh can pull this off at home, and you've got a good Penguins team at home at plus money. I'll take it. It's plus 120 over at DraftKings. That's the best odds I saw this morning. The other books right around 116, 118.
Hopefully that bolt for the Blue will absolutely strike with the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's move on to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs and bear down Chicago Bears. Still can't believe they beat the Packers in just scintillating in historic fashion. All the Fs, toss them around, Ben Johnson, and understandably and deservedly so, releasing angst for the entire fan base over the decades-long drought. I think the Bears, speaking objectively, have more than a puncher's chance of knocking off the Rammies this weekend. It's going to be bitterly cold in Chicago on Sunday. Game time temps expected to be right now. We're still a few days out, around 17, 18 degrees above zero, with the wind chills around or just below zero. Now, Matthew Stafford has played quite well in outdoor conditions during these days as a member of the Detroit Lions. He's used to these elements. A lot of the other members of that team, not so much. I think it's going to be a run-heavy affair for the Chicago Bears. Could be a similar game plan that they exhibited against the Philadelphia Eagles late in the regular season. Whole lot of Commandant guy and a whole lot of DeAndre Swift. Give me Swifty to have the most rush yards in the game at plus 185. Lundy really rolling the shoulders and getting seduced by that juice. Bank that one there at DraftKings. You're looking games played since week 12, including the wild card round. The Rams are just number 22 in rush EPA defense. As I've said, cracks in the dam have been visible, and they are about to gush. Bears' offensive line has been spectacular in their run blocking efficiency this season. You look at DeAndre Swift, the guy that's averaging 4.8 yards per carry on 54 rush attempts in games played below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's certainly going to tuck under that number. He's also averaging right around 63 rush yards per game at home, where he's averaging 4.5 yards per clip. So put all together, give me DeAndre Swift. They have the most rush yards in the game against the Rams at plus 185 at DraftKings. With those bets on the board, it's time to get after it with another Tuesday edition of the Fade 5.
Number 5.
All right, numero cinco on the countdown today. All college basketball all the time. Melania, I don't know if you realize this, but Miami, not the one in SoFla, but the one in the OHIO in hoops, they're unblemished. They're untouched. They are undefeated right now in mid-January. They have a really good shot, a run at the regular season table, and they're making Mac daddies. That's exactly what they are. I'm going to lay a hefty line here of 16.5 against Central Michigan at a minus 110 there at BetMGM. Actually, at DraftKings as well. So wherever you decide to play this, I said 16.5 with that standard juice. Miami is number 85 right now on Bart Torvik, also a top 90 team, according to KenPom. Central Michigan outside the top 300 on both of those platforms. You look at Miami, Ohio, they like to live in transition, really rev the engine and push the pedal to the metal. Number 51 adjusted tempo. CMU, a team that likes to really slow it down. But the distinct advantage I feel that Miami has in this game is their elite offense. They're number 8 in the country, folks, in EFG offense. And you look at CMU, number 301 in EFG defense. Central Michigan, the Chippewas give it up an astronomical percentage, 36.2% from way downtown. That's number 298 in the nation. 46.2% of the shots from the Red Hawks come from distance. So I think Miami, Ohio with Byers, with Atlason and Elmer are going to be unleashing from outside. All three of those guys shooting at least 38% from way downtown. So put it all together, numero cinco on the countdown. Miami of Ohio minus 16.5 against Central Michigan, minus 110. DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, whatever sportsbook you want to play this at, it's the same number. Let it ride, Lundy. Fade or follow.
I like the fact that they might run the table. I mean, that's just kind of fun,
They
right?
could.
We kick back. We've been talking a lot about the other Miami. We talk about Carson Beck. We talk about all that. And we get ready for the national championship game coming up in 6 days. But all of a sudden, the Red Hawks are kicking ass at basketball. I never would have. I never would have expected this on the countdown. I have no idea what you're talking about. So sure. Yeah. 16.5. Yeah. Why not? Let's do it. Let's have some fun, Brad.
America, I am what you call a college basketball addict.
Number 4.
Numero Quattro here on the Fade 5 countdown, the Tuesday edition. Let's stay in college basketball. Let's go with a couple of teams that Lundy may know a thing or two about because they played a more formidable conference, and that being the ACC. Give me Virginia on the road against the Louisville Cardinals. Virginia catching 3.5 at a minus 110 at BetMGM. Michael Brown, a guy that's going to make a whole boatload of cash in the NBA in short order, is still out with that nettlesome back setback. Some of the other key players, Conwell's going to be in uniform, according to the coaching staff of Louisville, but they are walking wounded, to say the least. I think it's just too many points. The Cardinals may ultimately get the victory. Look at the overall numbers. They're very comparable to one another. You look at Louisville, they're number 17 according to Bart Torvik, 34 EFG offense, 16 EFG defense, very good defensive rebounding team, and man, they are jack happy, Lundy. 54.1% of their shots are coming along the perimeter, where this season they are nailing an appreciable 34.8%. You look at Virginia, number 12 in Torvik, so really not much of a separation between them and Louisville. A little bit higher are the Cavaliers. Have been kind of a surprise team this year, 31 EFG offense, number 4 in EFG defense, and not like the previously coached Tony Bennett Virginia squads. They can play at variable paces. They're not going to grind out the shot clock. They're not going to live in the half court. They are willing to run. So Louisville, whatever they dictate, Virginia's going to feel comfortable at that pace of play. Again, that's a team that's shooting 36.7% from way downtown, and they're only giving up 43.4% from 2 and only 22.8% from 3. And again, you're facing a team that lives and dies by the 3. And UVA is number 11 in the country in 3-point percentage defense. Well, altogether, I think we got a live roof barking dog in Virginia, but I am a fraidy cat. I will take the plus 3.5 on the road inside the Yum at a -110 at BetMGM and Lundy. Numero quattro on the countdown. Better follow.
I'm going to follow because of what Virginia has done so far this season against the spread. 10-6 overall ATS. A lot of that coming at home where they're completely unblemished at 10-0. But I think this is a team that can cover. I think Louisville has failed to cover 3 straight games here on the season. So I think this is, yes, it could absolutely be a live dog. This could also be one, Brad. Let's say Louisville gets out on a small lead in the first 10 or 12 minutes of the game. This might be a live line to play if all of a sudden. Yeah. I mean, if Virginia gets to where they're like plus 6.5 or something like that, I would jump on that, folks. Also, bonus pick for me. I don't know whether you'll agree or not. I think the over-under is at about 154. I like the under in this contest between the two of them. So I'll throw that one out there as well.
I will not remotely touch that. All I want is that UVA action. Boys, continue to be road warriors.
Number 3.
All right, numero tres here on the Tuesday edition of the Fave 5 Countdown. Let's work at a little same-game parlay in the Mountain West Conference, and let's live dangerously. I like to live in the middle on some of these lines, especially if they're priced somewhere between like 6.5 to 10.5 on the standard line. I'll take the favorite down to a smaller number, then I'll jack the other side of it way up and hope it lands right there in the middle and try to achieve plus money. Lundy, I built this exact same SGP at DraftKings. It was -120, but this one at plus 110 at Caesars. Oh, a supreme value. And that SGP is the New Mexico Lobos -2.5 at home against Grand Canyon at plus 15.5. So what does that mean? New Mexico's got to win between 3 and 15 points. And we cash at plus money. And I think that is entirely on the table. Similarly ranked teams overall. You look at New Mexico, yes, they're number 51 in Campam and Grand Canyon, 37 spots lower in that category. But the peel back the layers, the onion, and you see my reasoning and how these two teams are nearly mirror images. Both well inside the top 200 in EFG offense, both well inside the top 200 in adjusted tempo, and both decent offensive teams. New Mexico a little bit better at number 67 EFGD to GCU at 109. But I think the key in this one is GCU doesn't turn the rock over. And New Mexico lives on its pressure defense and creating those miscues, those mistakes, and those easy sprint outs. I think the Antelopes will limit those opportunities for New Mexico. Yeah, they may get beat up in this game, but even if they do and they're not too bloodied, they could still cover the 15.5. So again, I think New Mexico is going to win. I think they will win by at least a 2.5 margin. It's the back end you always got to worry about in these scenarios. Whether or not they go to the pit, very intimidating place to play, one of the most intimidating all of college basketball, especially west of the Mississippi. But GCU is playing exceptional basketball right now. I think the Lopes will cover that 15.5, and we hit the in the middle. Cue the Jimmy Eat World there in the background. So numero tres here on the Taco Tuesday / Tequila Tuesday edition of the Fade 5 Countdown. Same game parlay. New Mexico -2.5. Grand Canyon plus 15.5 at plus 110 at Caesars. Lundy, fair to follow.
You know me, I don't pay attention to this stuff the way you do. That's the same trade-off that we have in the world of hockey. I know you try to play nice. You try to play in the ice-filled sandbox with me, but you're clueless. You're clueless. You can pronounce Sidney Crosby, and that's about it. So let's be honest.
Correct.
And I don't play the same way, but I do love playing these types of same-game parlays, trying to be able to find your way into the middle. I think this is advantageous in any sport, to be honest with you, but most importantly in college basketball, because some of these teams, you sit back and you go, okay, this isn't a great matchup, but at the same time, when you look at Grand Canyon, all right, fine, keep it within 15. That's all I need you to do. New Mexico pick up the victory. Should be able to do that one at home. I like this. Way to live in the middle, my friend.
Oh, thank you, mi amigo. I really appreciate it. And hey, you want more unpronounceable names? On Lundy is always free, always transparent spreadsheet. Go to thegamingjuice.com, mi amigos, and get all his NHL action there. My always free and transparent spreadsheet also lives on the site. All of my college basketball plays. And again, I got like 8 or 9, 10,000 tickets approximately open on this Tuesday. May fire off on some live dives at some point. So always have that spreadsheet queued up. I have some early action already locked and loaded in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Of course, I'll have a ton more in all of those games later on this week. I'll have some pieces posted with all of my various reasonings behind my NFL plays on the site as well. The college football playoff breakdown for the national title game from Matt Fortuna, Ben Winstein, Nate Jacobson. That will be live sometime on Saturday. So stop by and check that out on the site. Of course, all of our Fade 5 podcasts live there. You could ask me a question at your leisure, at your convenience, and I will fire back with my 2 cents. You get it all at thegamingjuice.com. Click, converse, and cash. ... Maybe.
Number 2.
All right, numero dos. Here on the Tuesday edition of the Fade 5 Countdown, let's work it a little in the middle, Lundy, but there's a twist to this one. Same game parlay. Give me the Houston Cougars, Kelvin Sampson squad, -4.5. Give me West Virginia, +20.5. I'm going to take the total up to 138.5, and we're going to dunk on that under. You might say, man, that's a low number. I'll explain why. So, 1, 2, and 3, mi amigos, on that 3-layer SGP, +102. So, little baby cities by the juice there at Caesars Sportsbook. Here's why I like this one, Lundy. Houston is one of several teams going to be in the running for a national title this year. Their brand of basketball, even casual college basketball fans realize it. They slow you down. They live in the half court. They play relentless defense. They get a lot of turnovers, so they're on ball. Pressure D, and they just relentlessly attack you on the glass over and over again. They do not let up. They're always on the move, to say the least. Number 351, though, in the nation in adjusted tempo. Again, there's that half-court setting. 173 in EFG offense. Not particularly efficient on a per-touch basis offensively, but again, they force all those sprint outs and turnovers. Number 16 in EFG defense. They're limiting opponents just 46.1% for 2 and 29.7% from 3. Phenomenal on the offensive glass. They get a lot of secondary and tertiary opportunities and usually cash in on those. And you look at West Virginia, Lundy, they're even slower than Houston. They're number 48 right now in Torvik. An adjusted tempo, number 357 and adjusted tempo. Again, Houston's the number 351. You want to talk about bleeding the shot clock. Medic, help the clock. It's going to bleed out repeatedly on both ends of the floor in this game. And WVU, no slouches on defense in their own right. Number 33 in the country in EFGD. They're only giving up 43.5% from 2, though a decent 34.8% from 3. So pull together, both defensive-minded clubs, both teams. I love that slow jam. Cue the Jodeci there in the background. I don't see how this game gets over 138.5. And because of limited possessions, I think Houston's going to win between 5 and 20 points. So put it all together. Números on this disgusting same-game parlay. The Cougars of Houston -4.5. West Virginia +20.5. Again, Houston's got to win by 5 and 20 points. And the game under 138.5 on that all total. +102. It's Caesars. Numero dos in the countdown. Lundy. Better follow.
Yeah, this one's not puke worthy, Brad, but it is kind of like there's a little gag here. Just a little bit. I mean, it's just it kind of this is a weird one that you decided to put together. You were just desperate to get yourself into plus money, I can tell. So you decided to sneak that one in there. That's what the total is on that one. Under in 6 out of their last 10. is Houston, including being under what would be this total at 138. When they do beat this kind of total, they usually smash it. So you're going to want to see this one stay down, see them stay defensively minded, keep the glass clean. But sometimes those second chance points, Brad, that starts to push up your total just a touch. So this one makes me nervous, in part because it's a little gag worthy, but I'll tell you what, you found a way into plus money. I will follow, but I will do it reluctantly, good sir.
Advice, West Virginia. Box the hell out.
Number 1.
All right, numero uno here on the Tuesday edition of the Fade 5 podcast. Let's feature a team that I wrote about extensively this week on the GamingJuice.com. They could be the Huskers, the Indiana Hoosiers football version, though, on the hardwood, a team coming out of nowhere that is shocking the world and the nation. And will their storybook season continue? I think it does, absolutely. Tonight, inside Pinnacle Bank, that is their home floor, taking on the Oregon Ducks. They're going to turn those Ducks into Fagua, Lundy, which you love as a former Oregon State Beaver. So number 1 on the countdown today, give me Nebraska -1.5 against Oregon at a -110 at BetMGM. Nebraska's undefeated this season, folks. If you're just now starting to get familiar with the world of college basketball, they're for real. They're winning at home. They're winning away in true road games against formidable competition. See the Illinois victory. See the come-from-behind victory in Bloomington against the Indiana Hoosiers of the weekend, in which they were down 14 points and less than a 7% chance of winning that game. And they still won, because they are a phenomenal basketball team on both ends of the floor. A lot of experience and a lot of continuity as well. They're number 44 in the country in EFG offense, number 25 in EFG defense. They're only giving up 46.6% from inside the arc, 30.7% from outside of it. They're jacking threes. They're splashing those threes. Sanford especially has had his just exhilarating moments in the Illinois game. He couldn't miss in the entire first half. They are jacking around 50% of their shots from way downtown, and they're netting as a collective over 34%, nearly 35% from the perimeter, also scoring 59.8% from inside the arc. It's been a disappointing year for Oregon. Dana Altman's club. Biddle has been decent, as he always is. A major reason why they get a lot of those second chance opportunities and can wax that glass on there in the floor. But Jackson Shelstad, we'll see if he returns. He's been out the last 3 games with a hand injury. He's officially questionable. It's a coin flip whether or not he's going to be out there. Could have some accumulated rust and dust. You look at this Oregon team on paper. They played a little bit slower tempo than Nebraska, so more half-court oriented, but they're only 185 in EFG offense, 87 EFG defense. They pale in comparison, every way, shape, and form by the Huskers. Very high standard they've set right now. I think Nebraska, it'll be packed to the gills. The great thing about Nebraska fans, Lundy, it doesn't matter if it's football and their crappy product, which has been shit for 20 plus years now, whether it's basketball, whether it's volleyball, and they've been powerhouses in that sport. There's something to do in Lincoln. People go to sporting events, they support their teams. It will be a sellout again inside Pinnacle Bank. That is an underrated, intimidating environment. You put it all together, Nebraska absolutely lays the smackdown on the Ducks, plucks all the feathers and cooks them up. So give me the Huskers -10.5 against Oregon at a -110 at BetMGM. Numero uno on the countdown. Lundy, better follow.
Huskers are going to do it. It's the Dylan Raiola revenge game. Since the Ducks are stealing their quarterback from them. They're not really stealing Dylan Raiola from them, but whatever.
Just more money.
The transfer portal's a weird thing. So, look, let's see. Didn't we figure out with volleyball, women's basketball, men's basketball, and football, I think it's, I heard the number over the weekend. I think there are 9 losses total, and 6 of those are by the football team total.
Yeah,
When you
that's about
combine
right.
all of those sports, man, the Huskers are absolutely kicking ass. We know that they've been good at women's volleyball for quite a while. Now, all of a sudden, you're adding in the men's basketball. The women's basketball has been good for a while. So, yeah, their football program may still need to climb back up the ladder, but all the other sports in Lincoln are getting it done. And you're exactly right. I was born in Nebraska. I've got an immense amount of family that are Husker fans. And you're right. There ain't shit to do in Lincoln. So you might as well go to a game and enjoy yourself, or go up the road to the Omaha Zoo. Omaha's got an amazing zoo. Have you ever been there, Brad?
I have not. I have stayed in Omaha a couple of times,
Oh,
drove through there,
dude,
but I've never gone to
Omaha
the zoo.
Omaha Zoo is spectacular, folks. If you're just ever cruising across the Midwest and you're like, this sucks because it's flat and there's a bunch of corn and cows and soybeans and stuff like that, and you're looking for something to do, stop in Omaha and go to their zoo, and you can thank me later.
All right, yeah, check out the Babonos there at the Omaha Zoo. I'm assuming they have that breed of monkey. All right, Lundy, let's go ahead and get after it with a little bonus time. Bonus time. Whether in college basketball, maybe got some additional hot zoo takes. I'm all ears on that. I'm planning, particularly road trips this upcoming warm season. Too damn cold right down the Central ILL. Maybe you're looking ahead divisional round, the NFL playoffs. Maybe you're looking ahead already the college football championship game. Drop the puck, making some bucks, additional action on the ice or the NBA. Just give me some more damn bets, Lundy. What else do you have?
All right. No more zoo takes. Although I am serious. It's a great zoo. I would highly recommend.
I'm writing it down.
I'm just telling you, it's a great little road trip, man. It's a great road trip. It's a good zoo. I'm just, I'm throwing it out there. I just thought it would be good. Hey, Brad, do you know that the Bears are only the second team in history to be home underdogs in back-to-back playoff games?
I'm not shocked by that.
You were talking about the Bears earlier, and I saw that stat, and I was like, this is insane. That that they sit there as home dogs. The Broncos, by the way, it's only the fourth time that a team with a bye has been a home dog. So if they stay at the +1.5, which they probably will, it's only the fourth time in history that a team coming off the bye is a home dog. That's what we like to call the Josh Allen effect. And yes, my Broncos are screwed. But I'm not going to give you any bets on that. We will take care of that coming up later this week. I told you there's 10 games on the ice tonight. Throw a couple more out there for you. I gave you a little bit of this during when we were on the plus bus. I told you that I like Pittsburgh on the money line, but that I also like the under in that game. If you want to play it at 6.5, I think that one is worth taking advantage of. Dallas is the late game tonight in Anaheim, taking on the Ducks. I think the best way to be able to play this one, I think Dallas wins this game, but if you're looking for the best way to be able to play it, take Dallas in regulation. Take Dallas in the 60-minute money line for the game to not go to overtime. Why? Because it bumps Dallas up to a +125. Great payday there for the Stars. The Ducks are playing well. Don't get me wrong. I just think this is a matchup that the Stars can take advantage of, and if they do, you might as well try to play that to avoid the overtime. Take Dallas on the 60-minute money line at a +125. And I will also roll, let's see here. I will take Utah, the Mammoth, against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, this one might not make a whole lot of sense. Toronto just beat my Avs last night in overtime, but that's actually what I am playing in this one because of the fact that Toronto is coming on a back-to-back. This is also their third game in 4 days, as has a tendency to happen when these teams go on the road. You guys that like to bet on the NBA know what happens in the association as well, where you get that road game, then a day off, and then a back-to-backer, and so all of a sudden you're playing 3 games in 4 nights, and that is what is happening to Toronto on the heels of having played the Avs into overtime last night here in Denver. So I'm going to take Utah on the money line. The problem is that one is juiced up for me. So I'm going to same game parlay it. I'm going to play the under on the 6.5 on the total with Utah on the money line. And over at DraftKings, that is going to spike us up to a sexy +186. on the ice for this evening. I told you there's a total of 10 games. I'll have a couple more out there, waiting to see who some of the starting goaltenders are going to be, and then we'll update the spreadsheet and get you rolling. Thanks for everybody's patience. I know the spreadsheet has not been as active as you would have wanted recently. As Brad knows, I was in Florida over the weekend for memorial service, so I've been having to bounce around and get a bunch of stuff done. I appreciate everybody's patience, but we'll get those picks back up and running. And yeah, I'm just going to have to start drinking today for this Broncos-Bills game, because I have a feeling it's not going to go my way. I yield the floor to the fine gentleman from Central Illinois.
Yeah, I concur with you on that one, Captain. Godspeed to your liver and Godspeed to your Broncos fandom. All right, let's get the team huevos. Parlay the play out there. Little three-legger on the money line. And earmuffs, Lundy, to your wonderful and beautiful wife. She's a diehard Kansas fan. I like Iowa State to win inside the fall. Give me them on the money line. I'm going to match that with Creighton money line and USC on the money line. All these teams got to do is win. And really, the key to this, those simple little three-leggers are the Cyclones. It's always an intimidating environment there inside the fall. God, but Kansas, man, they've just been so erratic and untrustworthy outside of Darren Peterson. Who's really going to step up? I don't know. I know that Iowa State is very much in the running, not only to win the Big 12, but also possibly take home the whole enchilada and win the national title, where they are 10-1 right now at BetMGM with the best offensive teams. Momsilovich is shooting like 55% from distance. It's crazy. And one of the best defensive teams in the land. Creighton's going to rock and roll. They're at home against Georgetown. The Hoyas suck. And then USC. And by the way, that Creighton, the home of the Omaha Zoo. See, it all comes together. We're connecting tissue here on the podcast. NSC's at home, taking on Maryland in a down year for Buzz Williams at his first season there with the Terps. So again, I'm going to go with Iowa State, Creighton, and USC on the money line at plus 127, much to the chagrin of Mrs. Lundy.
Oh, it's okay, Brad.
She's
on the road for a conference right now. She's not paying attention. It's okay, because I'm right there with you. I'm sorry that all Kansas does is turn the ball over, and all Iowa State does is force turnovers. So, this is a troubled Kansas team right now, and even she knows it.
Yeah, it's ripe for an opportunity, Iowa State, to steal one there on the road. Elsewhere in bonus time. I'll go quickly here. I like Wisconsin not to have a letdown game. Look, I know they went on the road, and it probably is 18.5-point dogs knocked off the Michigan Wolverines, in which a lot of us, including me, thought there was a possibility they could run the damn table this season. Well, that's off the damn table as the Badgers went into Ann Arbor and got the victory there over the weekend. They're on the road against Minnesota. I will lay the 1.5. I am somewhat optimistic they're going to avoid the letdown against a Minnesota team that is showing improvement, but the Badgers, this could launch them to a nice little run here the next few games. To stay in the Big Ten, I'm building one more SGP. Give me Michigan State, the Sparty Party. I'll take it down to -2.5, and I'll take the total up to 148.5 and hit that under. They're taking on Indiana on that simple two-legger, plus 100. Built at DraftKings Sportsbook. Again, Michigan State -2.5. The under 148.5 will be a good game. Nearly evenly matched. I think Michigan State will have an advantage on the glass. They're inside the top 10 in offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding percentage. It looks like I am frozen somehow on this video broadcast, but that's a wrap on this edition of the
I know, but you're frozen in such an awkward position too, which I just think is great. You're just it's good. It's good. It's all right.
I'm Han Solo and Carbonite right now.
Yeah, you kind of are a little Han Solo thing going on, but that's okay because you're putting a wrap on the pod anyway. So you might as well just freeze and we can ventriloquist this thing.
Yeah, that's about right. I appreciate your hand going into my nether regions here, Lundy. And that's a wrap on the podcast. Do us a favor, would you kindly drop us a rating and a review at your convenience, at your leisure. Favorite follow us on the X or the Twitter. Lundy at Nate Lundy, myself at Noisy Huevos. Go to thegamingjuice.com, sign up for a free account. Go to our friends at Betalytics and use promo code JUICE for 25% off their awesome projections today. Now I've completely disappeared. Oh, but Lundy's head is, whoa, it tickles, Lundy, it tickles. All right, we got to get the hell out of here. As always, until next time, fade or follow. That is up to you.